Did you know YouTube has awarded over 200,000 play buttons to creators worldwide? Yet hardly anyone knows how they're actually made. Who designs them? What's the process? And why do creators obsess over these awards like they're the last slice of pizza at a party? Stick around to find out. Oh, and I'll even show you how to make your very own silver play button today, in under 24 hours, with just a few simple items you probably already have lying around. So, the red diamond play button. You've probably seen it in those epic YouTube milestone videos. According to Wikipedia, there are currently only 12 channels in existence that have reached this level. To see how they're made, we first need to fly over to Factora, France. Ever heard of it? Probably not. It's this tiny, quiet town that, for some reason, is home to one of the fanciest crystal factories in the world. Question mark? This place has been running for over 259 years. And get this, it never stops. The furnaces here are so massive and hot, they run 24/7. Why? Because turning them off would take an entire month to get them back up to temperature. It's wild, but true. The play button, specifically the red one, starts with a few quote-unquote humble ingredients. Silica sand, which is a type of sand used to make glass and ceramics, potash, an ingredient used in both fertilizers and glass makings, red lead oxide, a red powder used in batteries and paints, and, well, gold. Yes, actual 24-karat gold. That's what gives the crystal its deep red color. They measure out all the exact measurements, and then they toss it into a furnace that's cranked up to 1,200 degrees Celsius. That's 2,192 degrees Fahrenheit, and yes, it's as hot as it sounds. After a while, all those materials melt into the glowing golden lava-looking liquid that you can see on screen. And honestly, it's hypnotic. I could stare at it for hours, but the workers, no time for that. They have to move fast. Next, they grab a blowing iron, a long hollow metal rod, and dip it into the molten crystal. They spin it slowly, collecting just the right amount of liquid crystal on the end. This part is not as easy as it looks because the crystal is insanely hot and flows like syrup. It's like trying to grab honey that could burn a hole right through the floor. You mess this up by breathing wrong or tripping over, you're starting over. Or not, because you'd probably be out of a job by then. Once they've got the perfect blob, they start shaping it. And here's where things get interesting. They'll either free blow the crystal, shaping it by blowing air into the rod while spinning it and using tools, or they'll use a mold. For something as precise as the play button, they typically go with molds. After shaping, the crystal goes through something called annealing. Big word, but it's really just controlled cooling. They put the crystal into an oven, and over several hours, they slowly bring the temperature down. If they skip this step, the crystal would crack and all that effort would go up in smoke. This is one of those patience is key moments, and they've got it down to a science. Once the crystal's solid, it's time to make it shine. Using diamond-tipped wheels, an artisan, which, if you don't know, is a skilled worker who makes material objects partly or entirely by hand, cuts precise angles, or facets, into the crystal. Every cut is designed with one thing in mind: to catch light perfectly, making the play button sparkle like it's a living, breathing organism. Then comes engraving. The YouTube logo is etched right into the crystal. Now, polishing. Sounds simple, right? Nope. They use special wheels made of cork, wood, and wool, plus polishing compounds, to buff the crystal until it's shinier than the rock's head. This part is slow and painstaking, but by the end, the crystal looks like it's glowing from the inside. Once the crystal is perfect, it's paired with its base, which is usually made of dark glass or brass. The two pieces are fitted together like a puzzle, and they're glued with industrial strength adhesive to guarantee nothing comes loose. By now, the whole thing feels somewhere between 35 and 40 pounds. Seriously, imagine trying to lift that thing over your head during a thank you speech. Yeah, not happening. Now for the grand finale. The finished play button is placed in a bright red briefcase with the YouTube logo stamped on it, like this one. This case doesn't just protect the award, it makes it feel even more exclusive. You'd half expect it to be accompanied by a couple of bodyguards. But before the play button makes its way to creators like PewDiePie or T-Series, it usually goes on display at the Musée Baccarat in Paris. This museum is packed with some of the most insane crystal creations you'll ever see. Chandeliers the size of small cars and vases worth more than your entire house type of deal. And there, in the middle of it all, sits the red diamond play button, glowing like an infinity stone. And honestly, I kind of feel like we, here at Factora, deserve a shard of one of these red play buttons. At 145,000 subs, we're already 0.145% of the way to 100 million. YouTube, what are you doing? Cut us off a piece of one already. Okay, so this is how to make your own YouTube play button at home. If you are below the age of 18, this should be done with adult supervision. Okay, first of all, you're going to need a portion of a PVC pipe. The color should be kind of grayish, it doesn't need to be long, but the length should depend on your preference. Obviously, the longer the PVC pipe portion you have, the larger the YouTube play button is going to turn out. Once you have the piece of pipe, which in this case is 13 centimeters long or 5.11 inches, get a ruler and a marker and mark a straight line down the pipe. This is where you will cut. To cut, make sure to use a saw or a similar cutting tool and cut evenly down the line you just measured. Do not cut all the way through the pipe, simply cut along the line that you marked. To make it easier, you can cut one way across and then position the saw or cutting tool the opposite way to give it a clean cut. Please make sure to hold everything steady, stay safe, and avoid slicing yourself. That YouTube play button is not worth your fingers. Trust me on that. Once the cut has been made, grab a flat iron. Any in your house will do and turn it on, placing it upside down. On top of the iron, place an A4 sheet of paper, and then place the cut pipe on top. Roll the pipe back and forth over the paper. This prevents the PVC pipe from melting in just one spot. The purpose of the iron is to soften the pipe so it can be opened and flattened in the next steps. With your hand, open the now softened piece of PVC pipe. Due to the heat, it should flatten out nicely. Remove it from the iron and place it on a hard, flat surface. Put the A4 sheet of paper back over it and iron it again to make it even flatter. At this point, grab a tile or a similar relatively heavy material and place it on top of the flattened PVC pipe. Leave it there for about 1 minute or slightly longer to make sure the pipe cools and remains flat. I hope you're paying attention because this play button won't make itself. Next, using your ruler and marker, draw an 11 cm by 11 cm box, or 4.33 by 4.33 inches. Cut away the extra pieces from the square. Use a piece of sandpaper to smooth all the edges until they are even and polished. Now mark the box using the measurements displayed on screen now. Feel free to screenshot if need be. Grab a coin that is roughly the size of your index fingerprint and use it to round off the corners of the box, as shown. The tool used in the video to cut out these rounded corners is a box cutter, or if you don't have one, you could probably use a utility or pocket knife of some sort. Heat the blade using a flame to make it more effective for cutting. Carefully cut out the rounded corners, making sure not to burn or cut yourself. Again, please be safe. Next, grab a pen you no longer need, a piece of sandpaper, and instant adhesive, or strong glue. Apply a line of glue along one side of the pen, then attach the edge of the sandpaper to the glue. Add another layer of glue on top of the sandpaper's edge to secure it, then roll the sandpaper tightly around the pen, pressing it down firmly with your thumb. This creates a tool for sanding the inside edges of the piece you just cut out, ensuring it's smooth as butter. Now it's starting to take shape, isn't it? Don't throw out the leftover pieces of PVC from earlier. You'll need them. Glue those pieces to the back of the main piece as shown in the video. Be careful to apply the glue in the right amount. Not too much, not too little, to ensure a strong bond. Mark the hole from the outside using a marker, push it out, and cut out the marked area. Sand it smooth as well, then glue it back in place as shown. Sandpaper the front sides and edges of the main piece to ensure everything is evenly smooth. Then spray paint it silver. If you're young or have breathing issues, wear a mask when doing this. Spray paint the piece over a large, clean, flat surface that you don't mind getting dirty. Once it's spray painted, get a piece of glass, handling it carefully. Place the glass at the back of the main piece with the mirrored side facing out. Super glue the edges to secure the glass, then cover it with the remaining piece of PVC and glue it all together. Sandpaper the sides for a polished look. Trace 1.5 centimeters by 1.5 centimeter triangles, or 0.59 by 0.59 inches, on a piece of leftover PVC and cut them out. Glue the triangles together, sand them, and spray paint them as well. Once the glue dries, attach the triangle to the mirrored piece, making sure it aligns with the classic YouTube triangle logo design. The left side of the YouTube triangle should be horizontally flat. And boom! You now have your very own YouTube play button. If you want, you can either leave it blank or personalize it further using a custom sticker to make it have your channel name and subscriber count. To do this, you have a couple options, but probably the simplest way is to write the text on Canva and then print it out as a sticker or label. To know what exactly to write, simply search for play buttons on Google Images. And helpful tip, the font used on official YouTube play buttons is Roboto. So, there you have it, your very own DIY YouTube play button. Ready to have your brain rewired? These 5 fun facts about YouTube are real, hilarious, and packed with just the right amount of "wait, what?" to keep your jaw on the floor. Let's count down from number 5 to the most intriguing of them all. Number 5. The original plan for YouTube was a dating site. Before it became your go-to for cat fails and conspiracy theories, YouTube's founders had one mission: help you find love. In 2005, Steve Chen, Chad Hurley, and Jawed Karim launched YouTube as a video-based dating platform called TuneIn Hookup. The idea was for lonely singles to post short clips introducing themselves, hoping for a romantic match. Imagine Tinder, but instead of swiping, you had to endure 2 minutes of someone awkwardly talking about their love of ferrets. But it turns out no one wanted to share their dating profile in video form. When the platform flopped, the creators wisely pivoted, opening YouTube to all kinds of content. Turns out people weren't ready to overshare their love life on camera, but oversharing everything else? That was an instant hit. Number 4. YouTube has secret videos you'll never see. YouTube is like a party with millions of VIP-only rooms. Right now, millions of private and unlisted videos exist on the platform, but you'll never stumble across them. Private videos are locked down completely. No one can watch them unless specifically invited. Meanwhile, unlisted videos live in a strange middle ground. They don't appear in search results, but anyone with the link can watch. What's in these secret archives? It could be anything. Embarrassing high school performances, secret government experiments, okay, maybe not, or even your weird neighbor's unfiltered monologue about kombucha. So next time you're scrolling YouTube, just remember there's a whole hidden world you'll probably never access. Number 3. The weirdest thing you can't search for on YouTube. Here's a challenge. Type YouTube into YouTube's search box. Notice anything odd? That's right. It won't autocomplete. For a platform obsessed with its own branding, this feels shady. But there's a reason. YouTube intentionally disables its own name from autocomplete to prevent irrelevant or spammy results from taking over. Imagine trying to search for something useful and getting bombarded with endless tutorials on how to use YouTube or those cringy top 10 YouTube stars videos. By blocking the word, they're saving you from an algorithmic nightmare. Still, it's a little dystopian, like YouTube doesn't want you to say its name 3 times in a mirror at 3 a.m. Now I wonder what would happen if I did. Number 2. There's a country where YouTube's been banned for years. If you think your internet woes are bad, spare a thought for the entire population of China. YouTube has been completely banned there since 2009. Why? Because the Chinese government wasn't thrilled about the platform's unfiltered content during a period of political unrest. Instead, they created their own video sharing platforms like Youku and Bilibili, which are strictly monitored. But here's where it gets spicy. Despite the ban, millions of people in China still find ways to access YouTube using VPNs. That's right, people are risking penalties just to watch Mr. Beast give away an island or learn how to bake banana bread. File that under things I didn't expect to care about, but now I do. Number 1. This tiny YouTube bug cost Google millions. In 2009, YouTube suffered from a bizarre glitch where every single video on the platform showed the same view count, 412. At first, people thought it was a harmless error, but for advertisers who pay based on views, this was a disaster. Without accurate tracking, no one knew how many eyeballs their ads were actually reaching. The glitch cost Google millions in lost ad revenue and forced them to completely overhaul their view counting system. Kind of changes the way you see YouTube ads, huh? But that's nothing compared to this bonus fact. Bonus fact: YouTube's dark side, a video that crashed the internet. When Psy's Gangnam Style dropped in 2012, the world went wild. It was the first video to hit 1 billion views and remains a cultural phenomenon. But here's the thing, the video's popularity literally broke YouTube. Back then, YouTube's view counter maxed out at 2,147,483,647, a programming limit tied to 32-bit systems. When Psy's video exceeded that number, the entire platform had to be reprogrammed. So yeah, one absurdly catchy K-pop song brought a multi-billion-dollar tech giant to its knees. By the way, hey guys, I'm Elliot, the voice actor. We've had a few questions about the voiceover being human or AI, and to just be a bit more authentic, I wanted to invite you guys to explore more of my work. My website's on the screen, and I hope you guys continue enjoying the videos. Now, excuse me while I head off to make my own play button, but before I go, let me congratulate you. You now know exactly how YouTube play buttons are made in the factory. And since you're already here, check out our previous video. It might just shock you.